It's Wade Rich, and we're back with another episode of A Word with Wade. My guest today is from Sydney. She has a single out called Stay With Me off of her debut EP, which is called The Man You Remember, coming out July 21st. Pretty excited to be talking to you about that before it's actually released. I've read that you draw influences from Jeff Buckley, Phoebe Bridgers, and Elliott Smith, I think. My writing's a bit messy. You've been described as having a raw vulnerability, cinematic depth, honesty in your lyricism, and evocative storytelling, which all just sounds amazing and certainly sums up what I've heard of the EP. I'd like to welcome to the show Milina. Is that how I say it? I should have checked that before.
Milina.
Milina, sorry.
So good.
I'm bad at pronunciation, so I should always check. But I just got so excited because that you popped up on the screen before I was ready. But yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. This is very exciting.
It is very exciting. I mean, this is your debut EP, is that correct? So
Yes, it is.
from what I saw on, I think on your Spotify, you've released a few songs though, like just singles. But this
Yes.
is the first sort of body of work as an EP. Which is, yeah, I can understand how exciting that would be, doing the PR run and all that sort of thing leading up to it. And if I read correctly, this EP has been about 4 years, 5 years in the making.
Yes, 4 years in the making.
So yeah, I can imagine what you must be feeling like being like a month, roughly a month away from the actual release date after working on something for so long.
Yeah, it's been very surreal. Technically, I started writing the first few songs on the EP when I was 17.
Yep.
So that would have been 6 years ago.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I actually wrote Stay With Me when I was 17.
Yeah,
And then it sort of kind of flowed from there. And then the EP was an album previously, and then we cut it down and cut it down until it felt like the world that I was kind of living in when I was 17, which is, yeah, very exciting.
I love that. I love that. That's so cool. Just a little quick aside. I actually about for about 7 or 8 years ago, because I do a little bit of music myself. I'm not quite as
Mhm.
cool as you though. It's just sort of very much self-produced, self-released, all that kind of thing. But I actually had an album I was working on just prior to COVID, and at one point I'm looking at it and going, "This doesn't sound right. I don't like it." And I went through it and I kind of just picked the songs that I really was feeling and put it out as
Mhm.
an EP, and then went back to the drawing board to make an album. So it's interesting to hear that you had I guess sort of similar experience,
Yeah.
whittling it down. And yeah, what was that process like? Did you feel, this might be a weird question, but did you feel like a bit of a loss when you were removing some of those songs? Because obviously you have a connection to all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, look, I remember I when I initially wrote the album as it was at the time, and we had recorded everything, it was ready to go, and then we listened back, and it was just like it just doesn't really feel very me anymore
Yeah.
because when I started this whole process, this was my first venture into the industry at all.
Mm.
So I was working kind of just trying to find my voice at the time. And then I met my producer, Blake, and I was like, okay, I have this song. Like, it wasn't even on the album, it was just a song that I had written
Mm.
after the fact. And I was like, do you think we could work on this? And that's the song Armstrong Street that came out, I think maybe like a month or so ago.
Okay.
And I remember we were working on it, and I was like, wow, like everything that we've created, it was like we bounced off each other so much during that process. And it was like I was like, hold on, this is what I want to do. Like, this is the sound, this is what everything should sound like. And I remember I was talking about like I love Tori Amos and Fiona Apple and Jeff Buckley, and like I love how they take instruments that aren't conventional and turn them into something else. And then
Mm.
we kind of ended up just playing with that a little bit. And I was like, okay, what if we made everything kind of sound like this? And
Mm.
then it sort of happened in that way. And then there's a few songs off the album that we reworked, but just they sound like they belong in a different world now. So for me, it feels less like a loss and more like it did feel like a loss at the time where I was like, oh well, this would have been amazing as one body of work, but now it kind of feels like, okay, this is pretty awesome because if we release this EP now, then there's so much more time to build the world around the songs that were left behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Exciting. But yeah, it was a
Yeah,
long process. And it was sometimes I remember my singing teacher always used to say to me, like, you have to let go and be like, it's okay to change things when it
mm,
comes to the music. Like it's not always gonna stay exactly how
yeah,
you
absolutely.
originally envisioned it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And I really like kind of lent into that and like in the end contributed a lot to that process. And it was like the best thing that we could have done in the end, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know what I really loved about listening to you speak then is just like it amazes me because I was doing the math in my head based on what you said when you wrote that first song for the EP and how many years it had been sort of since you actually released it. And you're obviously, still quite young, I guess, in the scheme of things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just the insight and the I guess the creative maturity, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. I'm just making words up here, but like you just seem to have such like quite a maturity about the process for someone quite young. Like speaking from my point of view, like I probably didn't think the way you did until very recently, and I'm significantly older than you. So it's really lovely to see like just someone still got the whole career ahead and yet already have some such great insights into the process and how things work. It's really, really awesome. You mentioned before you met your producer Blake. I'd love to hear a little bit about like how you guys met and what I guess what was what connected you to him? Like what was like about him that you thought I want to work with this guy. This is the guy that I want to produce my music because it's a big deal.
Well, yeah, it's actually quite a funny story. So I met him through mutual friends of mine, and I had always kind of admired him for his own music project. And I was like, oh wow, like he's really cool. Like, wow. And I had a previous project that I had made. It was just Milina. It wasn't Milina Mihic, and it wasn't associated with the body of work yet. And I had just finished recording this song called Do You Know Me Now? And it was my first song that I was going to put out, but I didn't have um someone to mix or master the song.
Mhm.
And so I was tossing and turning and like, well, what do we do? Like, do we send it to someone that I don't know? And then during that session, Blake ended up calling
Lovely.
and he was like just talking to a mate of his. And then we were talking about the song and he was like, oh, no, no, just give it to me. I'll do it. And I was like, really? Like you would? And he was like, yeah, I'll just do it. Don't worry about it. And I was like, well, can I pay you? Like what? And he was like, no, just do it for free. It's fine. And I was like, what the hell? And like it was really jarring for me because he was like so kind and like generous about it.
Yeah,
And 20 minutes later, I had the master back ready to release.
yeah.
It's amazing. And
That's
I was like, oh wow. And then I ended up doing a headline show at the Vanguard, and he came to watch that. And he was really lovely, filmed a lot of it. And then through this process, I found my manager, Giorgio, who's amazing.
mhm.
And he's very close with Blake also. And so it all just kind of, the stars kind of aligned in that way, where it was like, okay, so now we're in the same kind of circles. And then we ended up just becoming good friends. And then when we were working on this song, Armstrong Street, it was because I just couldn't my producer at the time just didn't have any time to record it. And I was like, oh well, like I want to record this song. And he was like, why don't we give it a go?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, sure. But we did it, it was amazing. And then slowly but surely, like I ended up saying to him, like, I have this song that I want to write about like mental health and like people struggling with mental health. And he was like, oh, I feel really similarly about how you see it. Like, and then that night we ended up writing and finishing Overpass, which is another single that I put out. And then I was just kind of like, oh yeah, all right, he's my producer now. It's too late. Like we're stuck together. And then I was like, can you just like produce everything now, please? And he was like, and I was like, I want to redo the EP. Like, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then it was just a beautiful friendship that turned into, it just worked, you know?
Yeah, I
It's
love that. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Very organic sort of process by the sound
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
I kind of was just curious, like this might be because I know like Stay With Me speaks a lot
Mhm.
on relationships, which, when I read the press release about it, I could so relate to, and forgive me if I'm interpreting this incorrectly, but I feel like you're saying basically like, like the relationship ended, but there was no like real, you didn't really get the chance to kind of talk things through or anything. That is like, no, it's done. See you later.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I can relate that to that on so many levels, so many experiences. It's not funny, but it made me think then about this previous producer you mentioned that didn't have the time to record you.
Mhm.
How did you like? How was the experience of breaking up with them? Like, in a sense, you know what I mean? Like telling them, "So, I've got a new producer now. We're done. We're over." Like, was it?
I think that my previous producer is actually a good friend of mine, and I think like we talked in length about when we started working together. We pretty much said like he said, I know that at some point you're gonna have to venture forward and continue on with
Yeah,
what you're doing and what you're pursuing. So um it wasn't really like a painful situation. It was just
yeah,
more like okay, we're gonna try something new and just see
yeah,
what the vibe is, what's
yeah,
happening. And then he has his own music career going on, which is great. But yeah, it ended up just kind of working out for the best
yeah. Sounds like
in
it.
the end.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So I guess something I always like to ask other artists is their process when it comes to the writing. Like like I find a lot of people seem to go music first and then they find lyrics. Some people have lyrics first and then they try to write music to match it. But yeah, how do you work with your songwriting? Is there any kind of particular process?
I'm a lyrics first girl, I think. Like I usually have something that I want to write about, or like a song, like lyrics already in my head when I
Hmm.
start writing, and then I just have to find the music that kind of matches up with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So like a lot of the time, like with Stay With Me, I had started off with lyrics. Um, so I started off with the chorus with the Stay With Me a minute, all will be forgiven. And then I had written the outro of the song. Um, and everything that just kind of came between happened as I was finding the music, like as I
Hmm.
was finding the chords.
Yeah.
Um, and the thing about like I'm not very good with like I like the thing is like I can play piano, I can play guitar, but I'm not very good with like coming up with riffs and things. So it's always
Yeah.
just chords.
Yeah.
And and then I'm like, okay, like if I have something that I wanted to put into the song, like I usually just tell Blake, I'm like, so like the little string section at the end of the song, there's this bit where it goes like dun 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 at the end. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, hey, can you add that? And he was like, okay, sing it. And I'm like singing it and he's like playing it. And I was like, okay. And then that's kind of how the actual production side of it works. I usually just sing out what I want him to record,
Oh, that's awesome.
which is sometimes not the best because I'm like, oh, I want this really specific chord, but
Yeah.
like I can't sing a chord. So I'm like, okay, so play like, can you try it? And he's like, what? But yeah,
Well, it sounds like you've got a very good producer. If he's able to take stuff like that and make it, and you're like, "Yep, that's what I'm going for." That's awesome. That's what you want. Like I've been studying a radio school course, and they said if you lack, the creativity for this or that, they said have people around you that can do it for you, and that's exactly what you're doing, which is brilliant. I love that.
exactly.
Now,
Yeah,
is there any plans for like some, going interstate when you release the EP in July?
I would love to.
Yep.
I would really love to. I think it'd be so much fun. I'm trying to like I'm like, guys, let's tour. Let's do a tour. But obviously, logistically, we have to actually plan it out.
Yeah, of
But I
course.
would love to do like end goal, dream goal is to do like a residency in a few different states and like
I love you.
try to do like a few shows here and there. Like really, but like make them very like avant-garde. Like I want them to be really small and intimate. And then
Yeah.
if I can have like painters or like weird type like sword swallowers, they can come. Like whatever. Like
I
honestly,
love
anything.
that.
Like I just want it to be more like performance art than like a
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think
I love
because I
that.
think the EP is very like in the end a little bit uncanny and a little bit it's like based on like fragments of memories and things that can be twisted and distorted. So I think that
Yeah.
having it be a little bit freaky would be great.
I love that. You know what? I don't know if this is a logistic possibility, but we have the Adelaide Fringe in
Mm,
like sort of around February, March each year. And there's
mm.
definitely an element of freakish, avant-garde, unusual kind of vibe there. I reckon you would fit right in. Like I reckon get your manager to reach out to the Fringe people and find it.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, I'd love to come and see you live, and I love the fact you want to do it like a more of an intimate show. Like it's all well and good. Like I saw a concert recently. It was like probably about 7,000 people at the entertainment center, and you know the vibe was incredible. But there's something to be said for going to see someone and having it just a very small venue full of people all there for the same reason, enjoying it. And I think your music definitely would lend itself to that kind of setting. I'd
Yeah.
love to see you do a bit of swallowing or like fire breathing, maybe interpretive dance or I don't know.
Yeah.
There
Maybe
you
I
go.
can get an interpretive dancer to dance while I sing. Who knows?
I mean, I can't dance. I can't dance, but I'd put my hand up for it. I'd give it a shot. I think it's fun,
Done.
like just moving to the music and taking it wherever it goes. But yeah, um, and yeah, that. So you've got obviously got a launch party like in Sydney for the EP planned or
There, there definitely will be. I haven't announced it yet, and we're still planning.
okay, yeah.
But I would love to have a launch party, and hoping fingers crossed all goes well. Um, Potentially around August
August. Okay,
after the
cool.
EP's out, we'll do a
Yeah,
little bit of a show, a little bit of a party, which
yeah,
is very exciting.
amazing.
But I will definitely between then be celebrating every single day when
Yeah,
the EP. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
releasing music's kind of like having a child in a way, like you put it out to the world and you watch it sort of grow in audience and all that kind of stuff. I'm
Mm.
just making this up as I go along, but that's how I feel. Anyway. I think it's a very personal thing, music, and it's very beautiful to put it out there.
Yeah.
Just let it do its thing, and yeah. So probably the most important thing before I thank you and say goodbye is where can people find? I mean, obviously, I know where your Spotify is because I'm already following you on there. But where could other people find your, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever you've got to find?
So everything, all of my handles, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever streaming platform you use, whatever social media you use, it's all going to be Milina Mihic. So it's Milina Mihic.
I love the fact that you had to think about that with your own name.
I was trying not to rush it just in case.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'll pop that in the description when I post the video up. Anyway, just to make it a bit easier for them, they can just click the link straight from there, and
Yeah.
hopefully get you some more, supporters because that EP, like I feel so privileged to have heard it before it's been officially released.
Nice.
It's a really beautiful body of work. I'm sure you are, but I hope you're super proud of what you've put together there, and yeah, thank you so much for having a word with Wayde. And I really wish you well with the release. And, hopefully we'll see you in Adelaide at some point.
Thank you so much. And yes, I would love to be in Adelaide tomorrow.
Okay. Well, let's talk. Have your people call my people, not.
All right, we'll sort it.
No worries at all. Thank you so much, Milina. And
Thank
I
you.
hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, thank you for sharing your music with us.
Thank you so much.
No worries. All right. I'm just